Ach, was in all the Welt? Which translates from Pennsylvania Dutch to Ach, what in all the world? This sums up my feelings about Valentine's Day. Welcome to Amish Roots. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow, February 14th, is Valentine's Day, the day we are supposed to show our significant other that we love them to the moon and back by plying them with flowers, candy, and dinner out. And that's just for starters. Apparently, if you really love your partner, they will receive diamonds and a cruise. Stop the insanity! When I was a young girl in public school, I remember making a Valentine envelope that looked like this. It had your name on the top, and you decorated it and then hung it on the side of your desk. Then each child would have a store bought Valentine that they signed for their classmates. And on Valentine's Day, February 14th, or the closest school date to that day, you put them one by one in the proper envelope. I remember sorting out the Valentines at home, making sure to pick the perfect one for each of my classmates. They all had cheesy sayings on them like, "Will you be my Valentine?" or "Hearts and hugs from," or it might have a picture of a bunny and say, "Happy Valentines." Well, you get the picture. For me, it was all about the picture on the card. I didn't really pay attention to the wording. So the students I liked the best got the cute or sparkly cards, whereas the boys got the leftover ones or the cards I thought were made for males. For example, a card with a boy fishing on it, I would choose to give to Jeffrey, who sat behind me in class, because I knew he had a creek on his farm. Not because it said, "Fishing for love, will you be mine?" It wasn't until I got older that the wording became more important, as I did not want to be teased about expressing too much affection to the opposite sex. The only time the Amish acknowledge Valentine's Day as sweethearts is when couples are dating. I recall my siblings receiving gifts from their partners. Often it was a fancy heart shaped box with chocolates inside, similar to this one, but it was bigger with more ruffles and ribbons. And of course, a mushy card. These were chosen carefully, with the wording being very important. They might also receive a present like dishware for the girls or tools for the guys. They would put these gifts towards their future together. The other day I walked past the window of our local pharmacy, and in the front window, they had a Valentine display. Front and center was a pair of red pajamas covered in hearts and matching slippers. And this was just one store. Everywhere you go in a mall, you will find all kinds of lingerie and paraphernalia in pinks and reds so you can proclaim and show your love. Really? For just one day? When my husband and I were dating and Valentine's Day was approaching, we discussed how we wanted to celebrate. To our surprise, we both shared the same feelings toward this event. Now, keep in mind, we were in our 30s when we met, so we were so much more mature and sensible than young love. We decided that a card proclaiming our love could be said just as well in person. Flowers in February are morbidly overpriced. Chocolates in a fancy box do not taste any better than those in a plain one. And restaurants on Valentine's are noisy and crowded. As for lingerie, I believe that my husband would prefer not to see my overripe body spilling out of this when he can snuggle up to my soft form wrapped in a warm, comfy flannel like this. It is, after all, still pink. So, what is our idea of a romantic evening? Well, for starters, we both enjoy food. So a nice dinner together at home, followed by sharing the cleanup. I often tell people that when my husband and I do dishes together, it is our bonding time. After this, we like to settle down for the night by giving each other a foot rub. And yes, we do this most evenings while we are enjoying programs on TV. Now, you might say, this sounds rather dull and boring, but if Valentine's is about expressing your love for each other, should it not be done on more days than February 14th? We do like to eat out on occasion and enjoy getting away together for vacations. You may see me some days with chocolate in my teeth, as I have not yet overcome my mint smoothie addiction. Sometimes we have a fresh bouquet of flowers on our table, but just not in February. We forego cards, but leave notes for each other on the kitchen counter. Most times they say things like, "Can you pick up milk?" or "I'm out of socks. Is this laundry day?" But they always end with "I love you." Possibly because we think that we will get the task completed more quickly, but mostly because we believe it. I'm not suggesting in any way, shape, or form that people should not celebrate Valentine's Day. Each person or couple should do whatever they are comfortable with. But I would encourage you to remember that love is not just fashionable on February 14th. It is appreciated all 365 days of the year. It's like my husband told a friend of ours when he was being asked what he was getting me for Valentine's. His reply was, "Same as yesterday, because every day is Valentine's with Ruth." Aww. Even though he may have said it harshly in jest to explain why he didn't get me anything, I appreciated it nonetheless because I feel the same. So, while others may buy roses, candy, dinner out, or diamonds, I prefer to be told I am loved, to the moon and back. But maybe that is just my roots showing. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone! Mach's gut, and see you next week on Amish Roots. Plain talk in a modern world.